Hello, everyone. Welcome to Cinema Snacks, the show where we talk about what to eat at the movies. I'm your host, Caramel Thunder, and today we are going to do my tier list of movie theater snacks. So, what I've done here is I've organized 5 different categories in this list. So, up to the very bottom, we have rare snacks. These are snacks that I don't usually get at the movie theater. Maybe that's because of the price. Maybe it's because I don't care for them that much. But these are snacks that I don't really get a lot at the movie theater. Next here, we have medium rare snacks. Again, snacks that I don't get a whole lot, but I get more than the first tier down here. Right here, we have good snacks. These are snacks that are solid snacking choices. 60% of the time, when I go to the theater, I will choose one of these snacks. Then as we get higher up, we get to snack crack. That is stuff I'm addicted to, stuff that I need to get if I'm at the movie theater, something that it doesn't quite feel right if I don't have it, if I get to snack crack. And then snack attack, baby. That is the tier in which these are snacks that, I don't even consider not getting them if I go to the theater. The difference between these top 2 tiers is while if I don't have the items in snack crack, I can survive. I can sit through a movie. It just won't feel right. But I need to have those snack attack baby snacks. Does that make sense to everyone? So this top tier is I don't even think about not getting it when I go to the theater. Those are snacks that I always get every single time. And let's talk about food that I've chosen. So I've picked a bunch of snacks here. Some of them I get a lot, some of them I don't, but I picked pretty typical American movie theater snacks that you might see at the theater or sneak into a theater. And I thought this would be helpful to just go through my personal tier list. There's no right or wrong answer. It's my own opinion, just so you guys get a better sense of my taste in movie theater snacks or cinema snacks as we went over last week. So, up top, Trolley. Peachios. Peachios, these are quite a delicious, sugary, not sour, but very sugary, gummy snack. I don't often get Peachios, and I do enjoy them a lot. So I'm going to put them in medium rare snacks. And so the reason for that is I find when I go to the theater, if I'm getting Peachios, I think it's a pretty heavy fruit snack, fruit candy. It's not a snack that I think, in my personal opinion, goes well with movie theater candy. I think Peachios serve what they work a lot better if you're having candy at home, not watching a movie. Because I like to enjoy the Peachios as kind of their own thing as we go to the movie. But sometimes, on rare occasions, I do get Peachios when I go to the theater. So that's why I put it medium rare. I do bring them to the theater sometimes, but maybe once out of a year, one time in any year, I'll bring them to the theater. Milk Duds. Milk Duds are delicious, delicious candy. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put them in good snacks. Milk Duds are great snacks. They pair well with popcorn. The difference in texture and taste goes really well with popcorn. You don't necessarily have to eat it at the same time, but your mouth feels a little, it gets that food high when you eat a Milk Dud, then you eat a piece of popcorn. It goes very well. Charleston Chews, same thing. Very good chocolatey marshmallow snack. Doesn't go with popcorn as much, but is still a solid choice. As you notice that so far the good snacks all have been chocolate, and that's because they pair very well nicely with popcorn. I'm sorry. These good snacks so far, these are all chocolate because these flavors pair very well with popcorn. And of course, when you go to the movie theater, you get popcorn. Sour Straws. Good. Again, they're really good, but I'm going to have to go with medium rare snacks. On the basis of they're just a little tricky to eat at the theater. In the packaging, that is. The packaging's a little bit tricky to open. It's kind of a bit noisy. They're kind of hard to pull apart when you're in the theater, in a dark theater. So I don't really bring them into the theater that much, but I do eat them at home because it's easier to kind of set it all up. Now, granted, when I do bring it into the theater, I usually take it out of the packaging, put it in its own Ziploc bag, and separate the straws, which works well. But just because of how it is to eat, I don't usually bring it to the movie theater that often. M&Ms. M&Ms. Solid choice, solid snack choice. I respect anyone who eats M&Ms and popcorn at the movie theater. I have the standard M&Ms right here in the good snack category. For reasons that prevent it from going a little bit higher is because there are different flavors of M&Ms, and we'll get into that in just a minute. In fact, I'll put a bunch of these M&Ms in here. Peanut M&Ms, I think I like a little bit more than regular. Caramel M&Ms, I think I like a little bit more than peanut and regular. But the pretzel M&Ms, I would say that is my go-to preferred chocolate candy when I go to the movie theater. That is a solid, delicious choice. It's got a pretzel inside of it, so you get a nice crunchy, salty pretzel flavor in the middle of the chocolate. Mix that together with some popcorn, and it's just a wonderful taste in your mouth. So pretzel M&Ms, that is my snack crack. Reese's Peanut Butter Bar. These are those Hershey's-like bars, which you can find at most stores. They don't carry them ever. They're kind of hard to find, and they are delicious. And they are good snacks. They're really, really good snacks. They're probably closer to snack crack. But I think it's just a matter of, the variation in flavors. And for me, a flavor or a type of Reese's candy that I get a little more often is the Reese's Fast Break bars. Reese's Fast Break, that is my go-to bar preference for a candy, for chocolate candy. There's just something about the way they mix all that stuff together that just tastes really wonderful. The way I describe it to someone is if it's if you had a Milky Way, but instead of caramel, you have peanut butter in there. So as you can imagine, it's a pretty delicious flavor. And so because I prefer that over the Reese's bars, I would put the Reese's Fast Break in the snack crack category. Snickers, very delicious, very, very good. Very similar and heavy to the Reese's Fast Break. However, sometimes it feels a little too heavy. And I find when I put a Reese's or a Snickers bar in with my candy selections from any movie theater that I go to, I end up not eating it because I'm snacking on all these other little things, and I just get really full. And the idea of eating a whole Snickers bar kind of doesn't make me. I don't usually finish the Snickers. I usually finish that later. No fault of Snickers, but I think Snickers. I think that's better if you have less candy. Up next, we have Kit Kat. Kit Kats are delicious, especially Kit Kat minis. I'm going to put them in medium rare snacks. And I think that's because, for me personally, Kit Kats, while they are easier to eat than some of the than these other ones in the categories, I just don't get them very often when I go to the theater. I find that if it's, when you look at Kit Kat packaging, you only have a choice of 4 usually, and the candy's $1. And if I want to get a lot of Kit Kat minis, I have to buy a huge, super big pack. So I end up actually not getting Kit Kats that often, although I do really, really enjoy it. Whereas for that same $1, I can get a box of Milk Duds, and I just feel like I'm getting a little more bang for my buck. So that's why I'd put it in medium rare snacks. Swedish Fish, I would also put it in. We actually have our first rare snacks here. Swedish Fish, while it is delicious, I just don't end up getting it a whole lot of the movies. There's nothing wrong with Swedish Fish. I love Swedish Fish. I just don't generally get Swedish Fish when I go to the movie theater. And I think that's because of other fruity candy options that are available to me, which I see we're going to get into in not too bit. Actually, right here, Starburst Minis. For me, again, that's my addiction. I think this top tier, if you were to ask me what candy I generally get at the movie theater, it would be this top tier right here, the snack crack category, and that's Starburst Minis, Reese's Fast Break, and Pretzel M&Ms. That is my absolute favorite candy combination to go with any movie theater experience or movie watching experience. Starburst Minis, I like them more than regular Starburst because with regular Starbursts, each of the flavors tastes a little more distinct. So the orange has its own very powerful orange flavor. The red has its own very powerful red flavor, pink, yellow, and so on and so forth. I like Starburst Minis because, one, they don't come in the packaging, so you don't have to unwrap them a whole bunch. Whereas if you unwrap the other normal Starbursts and you put them in a bag, they might melt together. So that's one reason. But I also love that I love all the flavors of Starburst Minis. For some reason, they all kind of taste the same, which might not be what you're going for if you want each flavor to taste distinct. But I really enjoy how the Starburst Minis taste, and I like how easy it is to eat. So that's probably my favorite Starburst. Raisinets, ooh, probably a tie in terms of pretzel M&Ms. Let's go into the snack crack. As you see, I've kind of chosen my snacking choices wisely. I've chosen a fruity snack, I've chosen a chocolate bar, and I've chosen 2 chocolate pieces snacks. I think those are the 3 kind of essentials that you need for getting a nice, diverse movie theater snack experience. And as I said before, the pretzel M&Ms, along with the other 3 in the snack crack, they best represent what I eat at the movie theaters. However, the Raisinets are a very, very close runner-up. In fact, I usually can't find pretzel M&Ms anywhere, so I usually substitute it for Raisinets. So that's why it's up in there. Butterfinger, absolutely delicious. Again, but we run into the issue that we do with the Snickers, which is it's a very heavy chocolate bar. So when I'm eating all my other candy and I finally get to the Butterfinger bar, I usually don't end up finishing it unless it's a mini Butterfinger. So I'll usually get mini Butterfingers instead, actually. I try to get those just because it's a little bit easier and doesn't feel as like I have to commit to eating the whole bar. Gummy bears, good snacks, good solid snacks. I would highly recommend this combination right here. I'll put them next to each other of gummy bears and Charleston Chews. Those together taste absolutely delicious. Sour Patch Kids. Here we come into another essential for me, snack crack, which I'll put right here. I think these represent the 3 categories, or 4 categories that you need, that for me, that I really love to have when I go to the movie theater, which is you have a fruity snack, you have a sour fruity snack, you have a chocolate bar, and you have a chocolate pieces candy. There's 4 different types of candy. So for me, I think, Sour Patch Kids, they're great, they're delicious. The watermelon Sour Patch Kids are also very good. I didn't put that on here. But I think just as general, anything that Sour Patch Kids does is generally pretty good and well suited for snacking. Plus, they're not as messy or hard to eat as the sour straws down here. So, very good. Red Vines goes with any movie experience, in my opinion. Very, very good. I just don't end up eating them very much. Usually when I do, and you know what? Actually, I'll bump it down. While it is solid, really good snacks, I just don't end up eating it that much, and I think that's because I save it for special occasions when I really want to load up on a big candy bag, which is the main reason I'd say for me. All right, now we're coming up to some movie theater sold items, items that you can't buy anywhere else, so the things you have to buy at the theater, usually. First one is these pretzel nuggets. Now for me, super, super rare. I think I've only gotten them once in my life. Were they delicious? Yes. But this is just a matter of preference. I think if I'm going to spend that money on getting a hot pretzel, to me, I'd rather spend that money on getting something else at the theater. So I just don't end up usually getting pretzel nuggets very often. Hot dog. Now, this is where we get into a little complication here. So while I love hot dogs at the theater, I don't usually get the movie theater hot dogs. So because of that, I'm going to put them in the medium rare. Mainly that's because of the price. That's because of how much of the hot dog you actually get. It is delicious, but what I generally do is I go to Costco and I go and I get a hot dog from there, or an Angus beef dog or whatever you get, and I sneak that into the theater. And so for me, I don't usually do this. I do it more than the movie theater hot dog. You know what? I'll actually bump it into the good snacks. It's just a matter if I want to have a special night at the movies. If I'm trying to have a special night, I haven't eaten dinner, I don't really want to go out to eat, I'll go to Costco, pick up a hot dog there, wrap it up, sneak that into the theater. It's delicious. I know some of you might be a little appalled at that, but rest assured, it is amazing. It does taste very good. So, and that would be my recommendation to you. Is if you want a hot dog at the theater, don't buy the hot dog at the movie theater. I mean, if you have the money, you want to support the theater, that's great. But get the whole thing at Costco for $2. That's almost double the price at a movie theater. So that's my recommendation. Movie theater nachos, very, very good. I think I get those more than the movie theater pretzels or the hot dogs. They're very, very good, very delicious. But again, we run into the issue where you can go to Taco Bell, get some nachos there for even cheaper. You can get a burrito as well. Taco Bell sums it up, and you can sneak that into the movie theater. So I would put Taco Bell above the medium rare, above the nachos, because, I kind of, slightly because of preference, slightly because of how easy it is, but I'd put that in good snacks right there. Up next, the Mickey D's, McDonald's. It's always good to sneak a burger into a theater every once in a while. So I'd put that in medium rare for me. I don't get it very often. I do sometimes. It's good for sneaking a burger in. I just don't end up eating burgers at the movie theater very much. Usually sneaking a hot dog or a burrito. That might be a little bit better. Pizza. Again, pizza at the movie theaters I don't usually get. But if it's a pizza from Costco, I'm more likely to do that. Just because it's a better deal for your money. They are harder to sneak into the movie theater. However, I find if you just get some aluminum foil, wrap it up really tight, stick it in the side of your bag, or if you have a really big pocket, it usually works pretty well. Next up are the ices. Now I have several icy flavors. For me, I don't generally get the Coke flavor. That's just me. If I'm going to get a Coke flavored icy, I just generally, I'd rather have a Coke. So when I get an icy, I usually get blue. That's my preference. For me, I would say it's in medium rare, not because of preference, but because of I save it for when I want to do something special at the movie theater. Same thing with red. I usually get blue. Sometimes I mix them up, do a swirl, but I usually get blue. And again, they're not in medium rare because of my preference. In fact, I would love to have it every single time up here, but fact is, you got to save that money, and I can't get it all the time, and I usually try to save it for special occasions, much like the red vines, much like hot dogs. Now we get to soda. So for me, in my opinion, cherry Coke is a great choice if you're going to the movie theater. Some of you might not like Coke flavored or cherry flavored soda, but that's your preference. This is my preference. Cherry Coke for me, along with Sprite. Very two delicious drinks that I think complement any movie theater snacking experience pretty well. But for me, the preference would be cherry vanilla Coke. And for me, that might be a little too much. I'll put it down here. It is my absolute preference to get cherry vanilla Coke when I go to the movie theater. However, sometimes I feel like in a different mood every single time I go. Sometimes I want a more lemon lime taste. Sometimes I want a root beer. It all depends on how I'm feeling. But on general, I usually prefer a cherry vanilla Coke. But soda in general would absolutely be definitely in this top category. That would be soda in general, whereas down here, cherry vanilla Coke specifically. Last but not least, we have popcorn, which, as you guessed, snack attack, baby. You got to get it. Every time you go to the movie theater, every time you watch a movie, unless you're eating dinner with the movie, but that's another subject entirely. For me, popcorn is an absolute must. Got to have it. You need it when you go to the theater, especially when you go to independent movie theaters. You got to support them somehow. It is also good to support movie theaters in general because that's how they get a lot of their money. Is it terrible how they overprice everything? Yes, it is. But, no one makes movie theater popcorn like movie theaters. And if that money goes to keeping movie theaters alive, then I'm all for that. So, wrap things up. Here's my list of just how I would rank and rate and talk about what snacks I usually get at the movie theater. I hope you enjoyed this little insight into the mind of Caramel Thunder. And until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you later.